Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. What is this video about? Well, we now have bounced a new track in Live 12.2 and I thought it would be fun to take it for a spin and try and bounce some stuff and see what it's like, see how it feels and see what results we can get. Maybe it'll be interesting. Now, I think bounced a new track in the context of what it's meant to do is that you maybe have like a sound in a clip and you just want to bounce it quickly to a new track and then use it as a sample, or maybe bounce like a loop or something. But what if you could bounce it to like a whole new track, like a whole new song? That's not really what we're going to do, but I'm going to have a go. Now for this, I'm probably going to do a lot of it in the arrange page, which I wouldn't normally do, but it sort of bounce to new track sort of works a little bit better in terms for how I want to use it. Now you can do it in the session page, but it sort of does this thing where if I just sort of quickly just draw in a note here like this, and then you go bounce to new track, then it'll do it, but it does that. And I don't want that. I understand why it's doing that, but that's not what I want, because then I kind of have to go in and I have to crop it. I don't really want to do that. Whereas if we do it in the arrange page, so if I just sort of paste that here and then go bounce new track, then it does it and it's kind of just exactly the way that we want it. So for what I want to do, I'm going to do it in the arrange page. So I wouldn't normally work in here. So I might get a bit lost. But so please bear with me. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making some drums. And I probably won't ever need to use my resample channel anymore, really. Although it is quite nice to just grab things on the fly. Anyway, let's get on with it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a kick drum. So I'm just going to go here and, oh no, first of all, I'm going to make a new MIDI track. Yep, okay, right, I'm going to go here and I'm just going to create an empty MIDI clip here. I'm going to rename the clip kick and I'm going to go and get meld. Let's put meld on here and then let's open up the MIDI and then let's go just go to like C1, draw in a note here. Let's loop this, see what that sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to use tarp. So if we go to tarp, this is great for kick drums. Yeah, maybe less sustain, a bit of drive here. All right, that's kind of nice. All right, so let's just see what the levels are like. We could make it a little bit louder, maybe. Let's set this to mono and maybe put the volume up to -1. Try 0 maybe on the volume. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, let's do it. Let's go bounce the new track. Let's do it now. Wow, bosh. There we go. Now we've got a nice kick drum. That is delicious. Okay, so now let's make a snare. Let's make a new MIDI track. Let's rename it. Let's call it snare. And for this, I'm going to use collision. Let's get collision, put that in there. We'll click here, go insert new MIDI clip. And we'll do maybe on C2. And let's solo this. All right, so for this, I'm going to use the membrane on resonator 1 and maybe up tune it a little bit of pitch envelope. And then we're going to route it into resonator 2. This one down a bit, maybe. Wow. Decay down on this one. Maybe decay. Okay, that's all right. Let's go and get erosion. Where's erosion? Let's get erosion. Let's put erosion on here. We'll go to noise, set this all up, the width pretty high. Beautiful. And then let's go and get a saturator. Put that on there. Turn on the soft clip. Dial that up. Wow. And then let's get a limiter. It's nice and loud. And let's get the limiter in and keep an eye on it. All right, let's just tune this. A little bit too much width, I think. Maybe set the position to 0 on both of these, maybe. Wow. That's pretty good. Less decay, maybe. That is not bad. I like that very much. Thank you. Right, so let's do right click, bounce to new track. Bosh, now we've got our snare. Let's have a listen to it. It's nice and loud. Okay, now let's do a hi-hat. Let's make a new MIDI track. Rename this. We'll call this hat. What should we use for a hi-hat? I mean, we can use anything really. Could just use operator, something a bit noisy. Oh yeah, let's just do operators. Doesn't have to be particularly interesting. Let's make a new MIDI clip. Let's just draw in something here, and then we'll just do a little burst of noise. Where's noise? Noise, white, and let's solo that. No filter, I think, or maybe a high pass. Beautiful, that's fine. Okay, right click, bounce to new track. All right, so now we've got some delicious drum sounds. And let's maybe just organize this a little bit. Let's get all these down here and this one down here. Now I'll leave those all there for Patreon users later if you want to screw around with that snare. That came out pretty good. Right, let's minimize those down. Let's delete the resample track. Oh, I'm sad to see it go, but I don't think it'll go forever. Okay, so now we've got some drum sounds. Beautiful. This is good stuff. Let's turn all these tracks off. We don't want those. Let's go and get a drum rack now. Let's get a drum rack, put the drum rack in here. And let's make a loop here. And we'll insert a new MIDI track. MIDI clip rather. Okay, now let's go and get our sounds and put them in. We can select them all like this, drag them to the drum rack and pop them in there like that. Beautiful. Now I've got mine. Now I'm lost. Where am I? Come on. Right. Okay. Snare's quite loud. Kick is not very loud. Let's normalize that. All right, let's just do something fairly sort of, just see what this is. Oh, right. Let's, yes, let's mute all those clips. We don't want those. Let's minimize those down. Okay, good. Right, let's set these all to one shot, one shot, one shot, and yeah. All right, let's put some hi-hats in here. Let's just do some eighth note thing here like this. And let's just randomize the velocity a little bit. That snare ain't half bad if I do so myself. Maybe a little bit more high passing. All right, let's maybe compress it a tiny little bit. Let's just put a limiter on there. All right, let's go into the clip. Well, actually, first, let's make a nice long section. Let's make a 16-bar section here. And I think if we just drag that, yeah, that's all going to loop. Okay, beautiful. Right. Now, I could, of course, have just put those instruments into the drum rack and triggered them, which is very nice. But when you do sort of sound design for drum sounds, there are sometimes little inconsistencies. I think it's a good idea to just use samples. I think it's a good idea to use samples as much as you can, because you're taking a lot of processing off your computer if it's just reading back a sound, even if it's like a whole section of a song. That's kind of why bounce to new track or bounce in place is always going to be very useful, because if you've got this very complex sound design with all these delays and reverbs and your computer's crapping out, that's a good time to bounce it to a new track and put the sound design stuff away and just read back the sample, and your CPU usage will drop right down. Anyway, I'm sure you knew that anyway. Right, let's make this sound like an absolute balloon. Let's go and get an audio effect rack here. And I'm just going to make loads of changes of glitch stuff, silliness, and just have a nice time. So let's start with the beat repeat. Let's have a beat repeat 1/4 offset of 0 and put the grid to like 1/8, put the variation up to 10, and then have like a 16th note variation. Whoa. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna bounce this to a new track now. Yes, I'm gonna bounce this right now. I've gone about this the wrong way. Right, this is what I want to do. I want to bounce this to a new track first. We're gonna do that now. Pretty fast. That was quite fast. So we've got 16 bars now of this loop. Okay, so I'll go back to what I was doing. Let's put that in there. Put this to 1/4, this down to 0, this to 1/8, this all the way up, and this to... Yeah, okay, let's group that. Open out the chains. Maybe get the limiter in from the other track. Keep this all nice and under control. All right, let's duplicate this. And then for this one, let's go and get the phaser phaser flanger, put that in there. Set this to flanger. Let's open out this, let's put this to random sample and hold every 1/4. Okay, that's fine. Let's get a redux. Let's put a redux in here. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go and get, let's put a reverb. Let's put a reverb in here, see what this is. Let's maybe gate the reverb. Whoa, keep it in the track, in the chain, please. Right, okay, so. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's go and get a delay now. Let's get the delay. Where's the delay? Put the delay in here. Okay, let's do this. No, I don't want that. I want it to be like this. Yeah. That. Okay, right. Let's get the LFO. Let's get the LFO in here. Let's put an LFO on here, and then we're gonna route that, map that to the time, but have this kind of quite sort of maybe something like 40% and 10%, and then let's set this to something like stray. Wow. Is it great? It's going, wow. It agrees with me. I agree. Me and the delay agree. Right. Let's go a little bit. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, lovely stuff. All right, so now what else have we got? There's so much stuff we could do. Let's get the spectral time in. Let's put the spectral time in here. Set this to solo. And... yeah, that's nice. Spectral resonator, maybe? Make it scale aware for a laugh. Okay, that's good. What else do we have? Shifter. Let's put shifter in here somewhere. Get in there. Where is it? There it is. Right, I'll move that to the bottom. Okay, all right. Let's have a look at shifter now. No, that's not shifter. What did I just do? Where did I put that? Spectral time resonator. Did I even drop that in? Oh, I've loaded it on top. Come on, put it at the bottom. At the bottom. There we go. Fucking hell. Jesus. Right, okay, let's set the delay to milliseconds, turn it right down, turn the feedback up. I'll solo this one. Wow. Okay, let's get the... I think if I just pull that down like that, right, let's get the vocoder in. Let's just put this in as well. I'm just going to make loads of stupid stuff. None of it matters. And then maybe... what else is there? We haven't done any filtery stuff. Maybe we could do the filters on... Well, let's put the filter on this, actually. Yeah. Synced. I think that'll do. Maybe one more. Maybe one more with a delay. Let's get the delay back, but this time we'll do it beat synced. Ooh. Maybe gate it before it goes into the delay so it's sort of quite sharp. Okay, that's fine. All right, good. All right, let's open out the chains, select all the devices, the chains rather, do this, go distribute ranges equally. Okay, now we're on an audio. This is audio, so we can get an LFO. Let's put the LFO before the audio effect rack thing. Let's open out the macros. Let's map the chain selectors macro 1, and then let's map the LFO to the chain selector. And unsolo that. It's a little fast. Let's set this to random, set this to time, musical sync. Okay. All right, now let's bounce that to a new track. Bounce to new track. Bosh, bosh, bosh. There we go, it's done. Let's have a listen to it. What? Okay. Well, there we go. That's the snare sound for our new song, isn't it? All right. Okay. So that was very good fun. Now I'm going to do it again with this bounce, but I'm going to reverse the audio before it goes in. So I'm going to do Shift R. I'm reversing this clip. Now I'm going to bounce it again in reverse. Let's do that now. Let's go bounce to new track. It's going to do it. Bosh. Okay. So it's put it there, I believe. So let's have a listen to that. Yeah, right. Now let's reverse it again. So we get the kind of pre-effect. We get the effects in reverse, but the drums forwards. Yeah. That bit was good. Okay, let's go back here. Let's put that back in forwards. And so what we could do now, I'm not going to do it, but what we could do is that you could insert some take lanes here, and then you could put those into the take lanes and then edit together bits of the glitch that we've just made. I'm not going to do that though. So hide the take, don't show the take lane. So I kind of did that without really listening. And I kind of got into this idea of like, what if you could just kind of make songs without even hearing them just by setting up these interesting systems without checking any of the sounds and then bouncing it to a new track and just seeing what it's like. So I'm just going to try that right now, see what that's like. So I'm going to make a new MIDI track and I'm going to select this region here. I'm going to make a new MIDI clip. Okay. And then I'm going to just draw in, I'm just going to draw in like maybe something like a quarter note. No, that's a bar. So that is one bar. So let's just draw in like loads of those across the whole thing. And then let's go and get meld. And where's meld in the instruments? Let's go and get meld. Let's put meld on there. And then let's go and get the expression control from the modulators. Expression control. Put that on there. Let's turn off oscillator B. And let's just map loads of random stuff to the meld engine. Let's map the engine and then let's set this to random. Let's go remote map. Let's set this to macro 1. This one to macro. Whoops, that's not random. That's expression. Okay. This one to macro 2. This one to the filter type. And this one to the filter macro, the filter frequency. Let's just get another one in and map the random to the filter macro 1, which I believe is the resonance, and then the filter macro 2, which is something else. And let's do a little bit more. Let's pull the sustain down. Let's get this another random here and map that to the decay. Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this without listening to it. Let's now try and use some MIDI effects to generate music triggered from these single notes of C. So let's get a chord. Let's get a chord device. Let's get the chord in here. Put that there. Let's turn scale awareness on and let's set it to C harmonic minor for a laugh. And then we will just draw in some scale degrees here. 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, let's get the random to randomize the note before it goes into the chord. And then another one to randomize the voice of the chord afterwards. Beautiful. Let's go and get an arpeggiator. Put the arpeggiator after all that stuff. And we've got a few spare expression control tabs here. Let's map the arpeggiator style, and that kind of, we could do the rate. No. Let's just bounce that. Let's see what that is like. Bounce to new track. So I haven't even auditioned any of the sounds. I'm doing this completely blind, deaf. I'm guessing neither of those things. I'm just kind of like, roulette? Song roulette? I don't know. Let's bounce it and see what it sounds like. All right, it's done it. Let's see what it sounds like. Congratulations, everyone. We have made music that sounds like someone browsing samples. Let's go. Not a bad first start. Let's come down an octave. And let's maybe set the arpeggiator to 16th notes. We'll do another bounce. Let's just see what it's like. Okay. Let's unsolo this, turn this back on, and then we'll click here. Go bounce to new track. See what this is like. All right, let's have a listen to this. Okay. All right, that's okay. It's not quite good enough, but I think I've kind of got an idea now of what it's going to sound like. Maybe we need to try something else. We need to maybe put some probability in here, so we can use some probability with the chords. But one thing I like to do is kind of just use this little MIDI effects rack trick. So let's get that, put that there, and then we just create two chains. Well, actually just one chain is fine. And we just sort of pull the velocity down to something like 64, let's say 72. And then we put a velocity chain device before the chain that's set to random. And then what'll happen is that it'll sometimes not play any notes. And then maybe what we could have there is we've got one sort of tab left here. Let's go and get the note length, put that after the MIDI effects chain and map a random to the length here. And let's say the minimum is about 70 milliseconds. All right, let's maybe go down another octave. Let's go down to C0. And let's hope for the best. It's very quick. I'll give it that. Much quicker than bouncing, recording it. Let's have a listen. It kind of sucks, but it's so incredibly charming. I can't I'm going to try one more and maybe give it a little bit more thought. There's a little slapdash there. So let's go back. Let's maybe ditch the arpeggio. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take a copy. Let's make a copy of this. I'll rename it and move it down here. Okay. So let's try, let's ditch the arpeggiator and maybe unmap the decay from wherever that is. So you can right click, go show controlling device. So it's this one here, amp decay. Is it right? Okay, let's turn that off. Let's a little bit more decay, a little bit of attack, and maybe like some reverb. Maybe we can sort of generate some pad sounds. Let's just put some reverb on here. And I think that will probably work. It's probably, some of it will sound garbage because I've mapped the meld engine, but let's just try it anyway. So I'm just going to right click, go assign colors. Right. Okay. Let's bounce this. Bounce to new track. Pretty fast. All right. What's it done now? Let's have a listen. Okay. All right, let's listen to them all. Well, not all of them at the same time. Let's maybe just sort of see. Let's have a look at our work. Show your workings. Right. Let's start with. We've got all these bounces here. Let's start with this. Oh no, not that. Where are our funny bounces? Here we go. That's it, everyone. I've made the best song. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Let's try that pad thing again. But this time I'm going to turn off the mapping. Well, I'll duplicate it. I'll duplicate it so that we can keep what we've done so far and try it with a different method. Let's go assign track clip color, whatever. Okay, so let's go and unmap the meld engine thing. Show controlling device, which I believe is this one here. Okay, let's turn that off. And let's go for, let's just leave it on basic shapes. And let's see what that will be like. Let's bounce that. Bounce to new track and have a look at what it does. Yeah, a little quiet, but let's have a listen. Nothing. Oh. Okay. Still not quite what I was hoping for, and it's because I was sort of being a little bit slapdash with my mappings. So let's maybe unmap some other stuff. In fact, let's just not map anything at all. Let's just do it without any mappings. Let's delete this stuff. Let's delete that, but we'll leave the random, the chord and the random in. And we'll just dial in something like this maybe, and then put the filter. Let's audition it quickly a little bit. Let's turn on the, yeah, that's nice. Bit of release maybe. All right, now let's bounce that, see what that's like. Bounce to new track, see what we get. All right, this could be a little bit more useful. Well, it's ambient works 1, isn't it? Yeah, I think the notes are too low. Let's go back in. Let's go back here. Yeah, this is on C0. That's too low. Let's go up to like C2. And then let's just bounce it again. I mean, you're going to have like a crap load of audio in your project file, but I'm sure we can all handle that now. We've all got good computers, haven't we? Big hard drives. I'm sure it's fine. I mean, probably not the best idea for what I'm doing, but... sounds nice. So even though that, like, a lot of the times I would just kind of do this without bouncing anything down or recording any of it, the idea of, you know, there's loads of times when I've just made these strange little systems and just left it running and it sort of sounds cool and I'm into it, but often I don't really make decisions. With this, it's kind of like I can actually see here, this bit was actually pretty good. Or maybe this bit. There's a bit of a click, but you can do something about that. So we can already hear that that is kind of like a half decent sort of chord progression that's pretty usable. Let's maybe take all this bit here, move it over here, and then go to this bit. Now, some of that is a little... Let's go to the transients. Let's pull this down. All right, so now we can do an old school Ableton trick now. I think we can select these, right click and go consolidate time to new scene. And then we are back in here and there it is as a scene. So we're kind of back here now. So this is a little bit of a sort of chop back and forth. But now we can kind of like have a look at all this stuff we've got in here. What have I just done? Oh, maybe let's minimize all this stuff down and then make this all a little bit bigger like that. Have a listen. Let's put all these into the same track and we can ditch those. Right, everything is playing. Is everything still playing over here? How do we, let's turn that off and then come back here, play this. Right, this is kind of when I suddenly am going to suck at Ableton because I've got all that stuff there. Let's just play all of these clips. Okay, it's because of that stuff. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll duplicate this track, go in here, delete that, and I won't use this track. I'll use this one instead. Oh, of course, what I did is I actually bounced consolidated 4 bars, but that's okay anyway. I'm just experimenting now. Okay, so, I mean, it's kind of fun, isn't it? What's this? Oh, wow. Someone nerd. A very, very fun way to just be thrown loads of sounds and just be kind of like, wow, what can I do with that maybe? I mean, it sort of sounds like scuba gear. I mean, it's got a huge amount of texture and atmosphere. Whether one wants to use it or not, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm kind of done demonstrating my point. So yes, I can see bounce to new track being very interesting in this creative context of just kind of setting up these random systems, bouncing it, and then going, right, what have you given me? And maybe something decent will come out. This wasn't the best song I've ever made, but maybe you will go and make something better. If you do, send it to me. I want to hear it. All right. I'm going to go put this on my Patreon now, where if you'd like to support me there, you can do so and get access to this Ableton live set and loads of other Ableton live sets going back almost 10 years now. And your financial support is greatly appreciated and goes towards making me more videos like this, making more videos like this. I hope you had a nice time. I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.